Hey class, Dr. Stevens here. I just thought I'd give you a little bit of history. Reading through your comments relating to why you chose General Studies major prompted me to give you a little bit of background as to why this major exists, and I think you might appreciate it. For years, SUU has an interdisciplinary studies major, and it's been a good, strong program. Typically, a student would choose three separate categories of courses and get a certain number of credits in each one of those categories. And then, as most majors do, the interdisciplinary studies had a couple of capstone courses that the student had to take. Those courses were, and maybe still are, I'm not sure, but they were offered as a 1-2 offering, a fall course and a spring course, and they had to be taken in order, and those courses were only offered one time a year. But if you're an interdisciplinary studies major, that was okay because those students typically plan out at least a couple of years in advance, because you would declare to be a interdisciplinary studies major by the time you were a junior. So you had time enough to plan out for those two core courses, and it wasn't a problem for them. But in 2011, SUU added the general studies major, and not having any existing core courses to go with it, just adopted the two core courses that were with the interdisciplinary studies major and had those also serve for the general studies. Well, imagine if you were in a situation where you're nearing the end, you're in the middle of your fall semester of your senior year, and you come to realize that for whatever circumstance, you're not going to be able to graduate the following spring in your chosen major, and so you decide to switch over to general studies. So you get to looking into it and you find out that the two core courses that you have to take are only offered first in the fall and then second in the spring, and you're already in the middle of fall semester, so you can't get in that course this semester, so you've got to wait clear until next fall to take that course. So you can see how that really created a difficult situation, and the program that was supposed to help students get out the door quickly was actually costing some of them as much as a year or a year and a half's worth of time just to take those two core courses. And so we addressed that issue, and we went to the University Curriculum Committee and then on to the Board of Regents and proposed two new courses that were specific to general studies, the two new core courses. And those are the two courses that you are taking now, the GOSC 4010 and 4020 courses. And we proposed those so that they could be taken in any order, or that they could both be taken at the same time. Which couldn't be done with the two core courses for the interdisciplinary studies. So what that's done is, let's say, just as a silly example, let's say over the Christmas break, you come to realize that you need to change majors, and general studies is a viable option, and really all you would need to do would be to take those two core courses and maybe one or two others for whatever reason, and you could graduate in May. Well, because those courses can be taken at the same time and they don't have to be taken in order, that would allow you potentially in that situation to graduate within just one more semester, assuming all other requirements are met. So that's a little bit of background regarding these two core courses that you take. Now, in terms of the content for these courses, I think I might have mentioned this previously, but the research seminar course is one that I designed when I was the chair of the program, and my thought at the time was that I had entered into a master's program years before and was expected to write a professional paper, and I had zero training on how to write in a scholarly way at a master's level, at a graduate level. All I had ever taken was English 1010 and 2010, the general education courses, and I was really at a disadvantage. And so my thought was, many of the general studies students are probably looking to go on to a graduate program, and the nice thing about the general studies major is that it's a good fit with a lot of different master's programs. And so my thought was, our hope is that these students will go on to graduate programs, and if they do, they're going to need the background that they would have to have for scholarly writing. So the research seminar is the 4010 class is focused on that, on the writing aspect of it, and APA guidelines and research methods and all that kind of thing, to give you a flavor of what you will face in graduate school if you choose to go on. And then the second course, the 4020 course, which is the capstone course, our thought there was that general studies might not actually be a very well-known major to some employers out there. And so, if you're in a job interview and a potential employer says, so tell me about this general studies major, I've never heard of such a thing. What good is it? You need to be able to answer that question. And so the second course, the capstone course, is to help you prepare your portfolio to answer that question, to be able to demonstrate to a potential employer or anybody whose influence you hope to gain that your educational experience was of value and that you can actually demonstrate in a physical way. Here is a portfolio that represents my educational experience at SUU, and helps you to put it all together and make it a more marketable piece that you can use to help promote yourself. So anyway, that's sort of a little bit of history lesson regarding the general studies major and the two courses that you have to take to graduate. So anyway, hope that's helpful. See you later.